The Red Prince stands stunned when he sees the woman you were about to address.
It is she. The woman I've dreamt of since birth. The secret of my soul, my sweet lady, it is an honor.
He approaches her, goes down on one knee, and courteously kisses her hand.
You do not disappoint, my prince. You're every bit the gentleman they said you'd be. How very pleasurable, is it not, to finally meet in the flesh? For it is very much in the flesh that we must meet, after all. Become our father, life shaper. That is what the goddess called you. How good of you, dear prince, that you have come to shape life in me.
He stands up and scrapes his throat, but before he can say anything, she silences him by sliding her hand in his. She looks at you for the first time with a look of understated condescension that could rival the Red Prince's own.
I am Sadha, Princess of the House of Law, and you interrupt the destined union between the Red Prince and the Red Princess.
Softly, she moves her body against his, puts her arms around his neck, her mouth hot against his ear.
Let's forget for a moment all the forces that drove us here, shall we, my prince? Let us think of nothing but ourselves, one amid a nest of satin. You and I, we know each other like only true lovers do. So at long last, let us become lovers.
By my empire, yes. At long last, we shall become lover. Quite. Why don't you, enjoy a nice stroll? A nice, long stroll, while the lady and I enjoy a more private moment.
Sadha smiles at him so endearingly, it almost melts your heart.
Come, my prince. Let's retire to that satin nest of mine. Follow me.
Sadha and the Red Prince enter the wagon, close the door behind them. Nothing for it but to wait until they re-emerge. A sound reaches you from the wagon, some kind of moan. You find a nice spot in the shade and close your eyes. When you wake from your nap, you see Sadha and the Red Prince exiting the wagon, hand in hand. As Sadha and the Red Prince walk down the wagon steps, you suddenly witness a group of lizards appearing as if out of nowhere. Their commander is a vile-looking lizard, his face the very definition of mischief. Chuckling, he addresses the couple.
Well, 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 look who's coming up for air. Mighty powerful noises I heard coming from that there carriage. Teensy bit jealous I am.
Silence! You will bow before us and explain this intrusion, or by the seven I will cut you down where you stand.
My oh my, you didn't tell Loverboy anything, did you, dollface? Naughty, naughty. You've been played for a fool, little prince. She's sworn to another. That's right. Your boo is betrothed to a very different kind of king. All she needed from you was a dollop of prophecy juice. I dare say she got it.
You utter villain!
The lizard commander notices, winks at you and licks his lips. Meanwhile, the Red Prince gently cups Sadha's face in his hands.
Sadha, my sweet, our meeting has been shrouded in mystery, but know that I'll do right by you. Know that I love you.
And I love you. Together we will brave it all, even the king.
Oh, ain't that as sweet as a bowl full of peaches? Hate to be that guy, but I gotta break up the party now. Time for you and your belly full of litter to crawl back to the king, darling. Gonna get me some private time with Prince Charming myself.
He grins widely, revealing rows of blackened teeth.
I've always had a soft spot for red meat.
Aye, if any of that death fog gets in your lungs, you're done for.
Hard to believe Lucian used it against all.
Bad people. Black ring, don't forget that part.
Get a move on.
Right. Any of that death ball gets in your lungs. Hard business. Black drink, don't forget that part.
none.
Heaven curse these fiends! Sadha, where have you...
The Red Prince fondles a satin handkerchief, his face a scowl, his eyes two ember spectres.
She gave me this handkerchief. Something to remember her by. Who would have thought so soon would come our parting? The longing of a lifetime squeezed into a few short hours of perfection. Only to end with blood and bereavement. I will, won't I? Thank you.
He hugs you back. The embrace lasts and keeps When you finally pull away, you can tell he's somewhat embarrassed, but he smiles at you warmly nonetheless.
We've become very good friends, haven't we? Yes. Very good friends.
The great creature gives you a disinterested look.
Yeah. For all the good it's done me. Still, can't complain. Leastways I could complain, but no one would listen.
The beast chews thoughtfully.
Nah, no point moaning. You take what you get and you don't get upset. Am I right? I am right. Still, thanks and all.
It turns away, disinterested once more.
Oh, Paddy went splat. Paddy was pulling a cart. Paddy pulled it real good. Slow and careful. Careful and slow. Paddy carried the good stuff on account of Paddy was real good at it. Paddy fell in the ravine. Oh, Paddy.
Well, howdy there. Nice to see a fresh face among these dour saps. So it is. So it is. But these things never last forever. Either the death fog will blow over, or the fireworks in Paradise Downs will cool off. You'll see. We'll be right as rain before too long.
The great creature gives you a disinterested look.
Yeah. For all the good it's done me. Still, can't complain. Leastways I could complain, but no one would listen.
The beast chews thoughtfully.
Nah, no point moaning. You take what you get and you don't get upset. Am I right? I am right. Still, thanks and all.
It turns away, disinterested once more.
Oh, Paddy went splat. Paddy was pulling a cart. Paddy pulled it real good. Slow, careful, slow. Paddy carried the good stuff on account of Paddy was real good at it. Paddy fell in the ravine. Oh.
A war owl swoops down from the sky and delivers a message for the Red Prince. Red Prince,
Well,
I am
howdy
the one
there.
who has been hunting
Nice to see
you,
a
but you
fresh
cling
face
to
among
life
these
all
dour
too
saps.
tenaciously. We must speak of the reason
So
for your
it is.
expulsion from the
So
ancient
it is.
empire,
But
and we
these
must
things
speak
never
of the
last
Red
forever.
Princess.
Either
Find
the
me
death
on the
fog will
nameless
blow
isle
over,
at the
or the
temple of
fireworks
Zor's
in
Tissa,
Paradise
in the
Downs
presence of
will
the
go off.
goddess.
You'll
Let
see.
war and shadow
We'll be right
meet.
as rain before too long.
Second time's a charm? Or have I asked too much of you? Well, second time's a charm? Or have I asked too much of you?
Try as he might, Tarquin cannot hide a small flash of surprise.
Where did you hear that precisely? Never mind. The Aetherin is a children's fable, nothing more. Supposedly a wand with an infinite capacity for source. Pure nonsense, I assure you. Really? Well, perhaps that says more about the caliber of their intellect than anything else. Such a device would be a gross overconcentration of power. It could purge the entire world of all source. Luckily, the laws of the universe render such a thing impossible.
The blade quivers as Tarquin nears it and hums a response. An unfallen reveil. Amadio Lucio de Anne Drita Dumores.
Oh, very good. Very good. This, my friend, is the key. Give me some time, and every deity in existence will tremble at the sight of you.
He holds out his hand, expectantly.
Lovely. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must work.
Tarquin turns away, but continues to mutter excitedly, almost religiously, about Anathema.
Let me think. Sprinkling of skull dust, vial of dog's drool, dried aleweed, a few more odds and ends, and I can get back to the ship.
I've got to say, I think we're onto something interesting here.
Well now,
Ifan claps you on the shoulder.
Go ahead.
His eyes attest to a desperation you've never seen him acknowledge in any way whatsoever before. He seems restless, angry, on the cusp of a tempest you never expected could ruffle his unshakable demeanor.
Finally, I found her. Finally, I found her, only to lose her again. It's unthinkable, unbearable. To know she's in the hands of such villains. She's gone, damn you! Don't you understand? Just let me.
He closes his eyes and begins to chant an old mantra. His voice mesmerizes, and as he calms, you too feel serenity descend upon the scene.
There. Much better. I apologize for my irritability just now. What you don't realize is... Tell me, have you ever been in love? Too many, unfortunately. Suffice to say, I am in love. In such a way that is the very core of my entire existence. My empire and my throne, I must have them back, there's no question about it. My offspring of dragons, I will see them born. Divinity itself, by all means, I crave it. But above all, above any of them, I cherish her. Yes, I suppose it is. You must know she is my deepest desire, that I've longed for since my soul slipped into consciousness. To see her taken away from me now, after our first meeting, it rends the heart. Words that mend. I thank you for them. I will scour this world in search of Sadha, and if by mortal means she eludes me, I will take divinity for the purpose.
He looks at you sternly, for all the world like a schoolmaster lecturing an errant.
I think you can quite easily imagine what went on in that way. Almost a pity you weren't a witness, actually. For you would have seen the conception of a new world, not to mention an unparalleled lesson in lovemaking.